I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Welcome to the Meta Beauty channel. I'm going to do a very quick improv video that I really just had during my morning routine today. I just had a couple of things come through and I just wanted to make a quick video. Also, apologize for the lighting situation. The light hasn't even come out yet, so this is why it looks like that. But yeah, today's video is on 3 things that I have determined that are even more important to health than actual nutrition, any other thing. And these 3 things are 3 core human needs that we're born with. And we can literally go back to being babies, and these are 3 things that we really need for our health to really be our best. And these 3 things are our need for love, our need for connection, and our need for belonging. These are 3 core human needs, and without them, we just can't function properly and we will always feel like something is off. Interestingly enough, the deeply rooted wounds of these 3 things are: for love, it's a fear of rejection. For connection, it's a fear of lack of being accepted. And for a sense of belonging, it's also a fear of rejection as well. So we could think about how all of these fears prevent us from actually being and fully playing life full out, and I can only imagine if you're not receiving those needs as a child, you grow up essentially thinking that it's your norm when it's not. I've had my fair share of experiences of lack of connection, rejection, and love. I've always had a deep wound of being rejected by my parents. They're divorced at a young age, very young age, toddler age. It hit me hard, and I didn't realize it until I grew up and I started to realize how much of an impact it had on me and still has had on me. Because if there's one thing I'm going to say, like, there's no age for immaturity. Like, people can be immature for as long as they decide to, and my parents can be very immature. More so my mom, but yeah. So today I just wanted to share some tips on how to navigate these 3 core human needs and how to really establish a strong foundation so that you're never really lacking and you become the giver of what you need, because that's ultimately what we want to be. When we're the giver, it communicates to our body that, oh, I have an abundant supply of love. I can just give this all away, like, I can give this to myself, I can give this to a billion other people. So when you're giving, that communicates to your body that you don't lack. So it ultimately opens you up to unlimited supplies of love, abundance, and all these amazing feelings. In terms of connection, if you need friends or you just want to connect more with others, don't be afraid to reach out and establish new connections. It takes a friend to be a friend. So if you're being a friend to others, most likely you're gonna have people being friends back to you. And in terms of belonging, I've discovered that belonging is more so, it's kind of like a sense of like community, feeling like you belong where you belong. But I've even questioned that sometimes, because belonging is such a existential topic that I could go on and on about. But what does it feel like to belong? Because I honestly don't even feel like I belong on this earth sometimes, most of the time. So what does it feel like to belong? Because I honestly don't feel like, number one, life is temporary, so essentially none of us actually belong here forever. And number 2, Belonging is a sense of feeling comfortable enough in your skin and showing the world who you are, no matter where you are. And as long as you can do that, like, you'll feel like you belong anywhere, because there's a place and a space for everyone. And when you're true to yourself, when you express yourself genuinely and authentically, like, that's when you open up the way for true, genuine connections, because you're giving off that energy, putting out that energy in the universe, and it comes back. The number one way to have horrible relationships and not attract the type of relationships that you want is to not be who you are. And happens a lot in society, with everyone being caught up in the rat race and things. But yeah, staying true to who you are, and making sure that you have these things that you could do for yourself that really just fill up your cup and never leave you lacking, right? It's when we get this sense of like emptiness or like lack in our bodies, that's when we try to fill it with other things that really are not meant to fill it, right? Like for me, it was always like sweets and sugars, and it's like, oh, like, do you really need that? And I realized I don't. I don't at all. And I was trying to fill my lack of love with sweets and sugar, and that never worked, ever. And it was until I started to really build and invest this relationship with myself and be proud of who I am and give myself the love that I didn't receive throughout my childhood, and am still single. So, you know, love is really truly magical and amazing, and it is a drug, guys. And you want to become your own drug dealer and supply yourself with all the love that you can every single day. And we do that through the way we talk to ourselves, our actions, and how we show up in the world, right? Because that's our statement. That's how we communicate to ourselves and to the world. So that was just a very short video that I wanted to share on really important human needs that we really, really need to thrive. If you guys want me to go in depth of any other of these human needs, just shoot a comment or a DM on Instagram.